Hey, this is Dean Soto with Prosulum.com, Prosulum.com, and today we're going to be talking about virtual assistants for real estate investors. That's right, real estate investors. We're going to have some things on agents. There are going to be some overlap, but specifically this is going to be about real estate investors. I'm going to share some stories from some clients that I have that are specifically for investors, but there is some overlap when it comes to systems. It's going to be awesome. But before then, give this video a like and then subscribe if you like this stuff. And also leave a comment. Leave a comment. Any questions, I will do videos for them later. All right, so let's get into it. Real estate. Is there anything better? No, not really. Just kidding. I love real estate and I love virtual assistants, so it's a very good combination. I'm going to start this off with a story of a client that I have in Tennessee and what they were able to do with their virtual assistants. So I was working with a another real estate investment company down in Southern California, and they introduced me to this company over in Tennessee. They're really, really good friends, and they were having some issues predominantly with their systems and with their processes. And so they hired me essentially to come out and just do consulting. And so anybody who consults with me, you're going to get a virtual assistant. You just are, because it's a cost-effective way to implement your systems, right? Especially the ones that we have. They take your videos and your audio or whatever you want, and they'll make standard operating procedures out of them. So that's essentially going to happen. So when they flew me out, I kind of already had that in mind that was going to happen, but I didn't really understand all of the things that they did, right? So not only did they do real estate investing, flipping, they go renovate houses, flip them and sell them, but then when they flip them, they try most of the time, I think probably 95% of the time, they bring them into their property management side of the company. So it's very lucrative for them to get a big payment up front, and then boom, they go into property management, and now they're getting some recurring income every month off of that property, right? Pretty cool setup, which a lot of real estate investment companies do that as well. But I just thought it was really neat. So I flew out and met with the team there, and it's a family-owned business. The owner is amazing. He's super nice, wonderful guy, total Southern hospitality, accent and everything. Love him. And we're sitting there and we're talking and seeing what I was going through and seeing what their business was doing. And essentially, he wanted me to focus. He didn't want me to focus. I did what was called a comprehensive assessment right in the beginning, where I went and saw everything that was going on in his business, so that I knew what would be the most profitable thing to fix and hit. It would be the most profitable thing that was not only just going to bring in the most amount of money, but also the easiest to fix, right? And so as I was doing this comprehensive assessment, I was dealing heavily with his son. Now, his son is super young, but bright as heck, right? Not only is he bright as heck, he's a hard worker. And so his son headed the team that would go out, and there's really two of them at the time. They would go out and they would find these properties to go and renovate in the area there and other areas relatively within the close nearby states. Okay. When I was working with them, one of the things that they were doing though was the very first part of the day. So the very first half of the day, the first 4 or 5 hours, they'd be on the internet researching what houses to even go after. They'd be going to Hubzu and Zillow and all of these things to create things like yield sheets or broker price opinions. If you're a real estate investor, you know what those are. If you're not, it's basically information that says, is this property going to make us money and enough money to be able to even spend our time going and checking out this property, right? Because not everything is going to make you money that you go out. Now what's most important though, you can go on all these different places, Hubzu, Auction.com, Zillow, all these different places, and find these amazing real estate. You have things that look like it's going to bring a huge return, but if you don't actually go and see it, you could get screwed. The roof might need a full replacement. The foundation might be totally crumbled. There's a number of things that if you don't actually go and see that property, you could potentially lose a lot of money, right? So you can never want to go and invest in a property if you've never actually seen it. And so the big problem was that, remember, the first half of their day, and these are people who are just good at wheeling and dealing. You don't want them behind the computer trying to find places, and they're good at finding it. Don't get me wrong, they're great at it. But they would spend half of their day or more trying to find properties, which meant that only 2, 3, maybe 4 hours max they could be out looking at the properties and buying them and flipping them. Well, that sucks, yeah. And so right away, I was like, dude, how long does this, I go to his son, I'm like, how long does it take to even do, say, one yield sheet or one broker price opinion? Like, how can you show me right now how to do it? And he's like, yeah, it takes probably less than 20 minutes to do, to show you how to do it. And really it ended up taking, I want to say 2 or 3 5-minute videos, so about 15 minutes. So he's showing me how to do each one. He's showing me the yield sheet, how to do yield sheets and broker price opinions and everything like that. I'm like, dude, cool, perfect. We're recording this. We recorded it, and I said, we're getting a virtual assistant to take this recording, document it, and that virtual assistant is going to then do it from then on. You're never gonna have to do this again. And he's like, wait, what? I don't have to actually do any research at all? I could just be out. I could just be out looking at houses all day? And I'm like, yeah. And I said, how much do you think, if you were able to do that, how much more money would you be able to make? And he's like, I'd probably be able to triple or quadruple how much money I make, because I'm able to just go check out the houses and buy them and flip them, buy them and flip them. I'm like, sweet, get ready to make 3 or 4 times as much money as you're making right now. And so what happened was we recorded it, and after all is said and done, my team started going out finding the virtual assistants through our 6-tier process and everything like that we do at prosulum.com. Found virtual assistants for them, put one in place, and they documented that video step by step of how to do the yield sheets, broker price opinions, all the research and everything like that. Boom, 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 boom. They documented it, and then literally after they documented it, the next day they had their first Excel spreadsheet of all of the yield sheets and broker price opinions. It was either the next day, I step back. It was the next day or the day after, right? Some of it there was a little bit of like, okay, we needed to change this in the process, but within less than a week, boom, they were getting Excel spreadsheet of just all of these properties that they could go after. And they literally spent the entire day just out looking at properties. Well, for them, for that side of the business, in less than 30 days, they were able to literally they ended up tripling how much revenue they were bringing in because of not having to do the research. Okay, now why is this important? Why is this important for real estate investors or for real estate agents as well? Is that one is having a system. You want to know what you can offload in the first place, right? So they didn't even really know until they brought me in what they could outsource, what they could get a virtual assistant to do. And you don't need to bring me in to do that. I'm not saying, hey, come get my consulting or anything like that, because it's expensive. You know your process. You know the things that if you were to get sick right now, if you were to get sick and you could not go to work and you had to delegate to somebody else how to do something, you would know you would know what could potentially be delegated and what really couldn't. But the majority, I would say 80 to 90% can be delegated, right? So is it doing your yield sheets and broker price opinions? Is it doing the research, going blah, 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 blah? Is it checking with the courthouse somehow? Is it calling up the courthouse? Is it calling up certain people to do these things? Well, a virtual assistant can actually do that. Anything where it requires a phone, anything where it requires the internet and just research, anything where you're not giving a specific type of skill or a license, you don't have anything that requires a license, then you are good to go with that virtual assistant. Now, the only thing is actually showing that process. Easiest way to do that right now is with a video. It sucks to have to document it yourself. That's why we have virtual assistants who do that for you, and then task and so on. And you can task them and they can do it and yada yada. But do a video first. Have your staff look at it and say, is this actually what we do? And then from there, you can go and get a virtual assistant to then look at the video. The problem with video is if something changes, now you have to do a brand new video, full video training. Say you took 30 minutes to do a video, now you have to do another 30 minutes to do a video. And then obviously if someone's trying to learn, they do it and then they have to go back and rewind. Oh wait, what was that? And then they'll miss things and stuff like that. So you definitely want to make it into a written process at some point in time. But the biggest thing you can do is at least start your video. Start the things that you know that can be whether it's research or something that maybe you're reaching out to, you're following up with people that you had reached out before who were interested in selling their house before. Have a virtual assistant follow up, but have a clear system of how you want to do that. Cool thing is that company that I work with, not only did they triple their revenue off of that, they use virtual assistants for their property management to do their statements for investors. They do all this different stuff. They manage their tenants with virtual assistants. Right now they have about 7 or 8 virtual assistants that we've provided to them. So pretty cool. So that's what you can do with virtual assistants for real estate investors. The biggest win, I think, if you're flipping, especially if you're flipping, then is definitely the research ahead of time with the yield sheets, broker prices, premiums, things like that. If you are just an investor, like you have cash, buy and hold real estate, then have them just monitor your income statements coming in from what you're paying in maintenance fees, what you're paying in property management fees, things like that. Have them put them in an Excel spreadsheet and things like that so that you know how your portfolio is doing. But I think right now we're talking more about the flipping and so on. All right, so hopefully that helps. We're going to talk about virtual assistants for real estate agents, giving you some ideas with that in the future. If you want a virtual assistant, a systems and process real estate virtual assistant, head over to ProSaloom.com, free 30-minute consultation, much cheaper than hiring anybody here in the States. You're going to absolutely love it, and they are super, 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 super good. Not only will they document everything for you, they will do all of the things for you, and you will never have to do those things ever again, and they'll help grow your business and scale. All right, so this is Dean Soto with ProSaloom, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.